guys, welcome back to the Melanin Matter. This week we're going to be talking about black hair and talking about our own hair, talking about black hair in general, stereotypes about black hair, the culture of black hair industry, just loads of different things about black hair.
Yeah, we'll be talking about a lot of stuff, so hopefully you guys will have like an in-depth kind of version, but we do want to say that we'll be saving for oh my god, I can't speak, for another episode, culture appropriation, because that is a whole other topic, and that does include black hair as well, so we do want to separate that because it's most likely going to be a lot heavier topic as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we just kind of wanted to introduce a little bit on our personal experiences with hair.
Yeah.
Do you want to start?
Sure, yeah, okay. So, I've got dreadlocks. I've been growing them since I was like 5, I want to say, 5 or 6. And it's very natural. So you literally have like your afro hair, and then what they do is they twist it, and they keep it twisted, and it naturally forms into a dreadlock. And you just have to keep on like retwisting it every 6 or so weeks. So the maintenance for it really isn't bad, and it's natural, which is great. You just have to make sure you use those of natural ingredients for it. So I have it, my sister has it, my mum has it, my aunt has it. We don't have it for like the religious reasons. We just have it because it's just so easy to maintain and it's natural, which is one thing my mum like really wanted.
I'm kind of curious, what religious reasons are you talking about? Like
Rastas. Have you heard of Rasta?
Oh, they do it like according to them. It's like a religion.
A religion, yeah. People are like, "Are you a Rasta?" Like, no, I just want it because it's so easy to maintain. But yeah, I really enjoy having them. They grow so quickly, and I guess it's like a culture thing. Like, I'm proud of them, I'm proud of their length and everything. The only bad side about having dreadlocks is just sometimes the stereotype of them being like dirty, or like you get dreadlocks by not washing your hair, which is completely like not true. And I know that sometimes in the workplace they still frown upon you having dreadlocks because they still think it's untidy and unnatural and whatnot, which I think is slowly getting better. I think they're slowly trying to accept it. But I do remember reading in the news like not that long ago about a boy who had dreadlocks that got rejected from, I think it was his school or something. Like they didn't let him in because he had dreadlocks. So it's still an issue, even though it shouldn't be, but we move.
Yeah. And would you say you had any like moments in your life where you had struggles, like where you didn't like your dreadlocks, or you didn't like how other people perceived them, or like you felt different because of them? Or...
Yeah, actually, a lot. I think people, well, that's another topic about like touching your hair, or kind of thinking like you get it from not washing your hair, or thinking that I just like go under a machine and like dreadlocks are born. I think when I was younger, I definitely, because obviously the primary school I went to was majority white, so I kind of wanted, like the straight, long, flowy hair. And when you first get dreadlocks, they're quite short. You have to wait for them to grow out. So I remember just feeling like so insecure about it. But I think as I've grown up, I've learned to appreciate them a lot more. But yeah, 100% definitely felt like not so great about them.
Yeah. No, I definitely think they look nice. So.
Oh, thank you.
I saw them, I was like, that looks cool.
Same.
Thank you.
How about you, Scout? What was your hair journey?
Oh my goodness. My hair journey has been like the longest ever. It's been a roller coaster of like breaking combs and brushes when trying to comb through my hair. Like first hating my hair, then loving my hair, then hating my hair, and then like loving it, but then like, it's been like so up and down, yelling back and forth with my mom, trying to find like the right products. It's just been a ride. It took me like 19 years to finally find the right product for my hair. So yeah, because you can't really get a lot, like it's actually hard like in Sweden to find like good like hair products for like black hair, because all the stores just sell like the basic products that like aren't really that ideal for my hair, so, and like don't really like define my current curls like they should be. So yeah, and then like also when I was young, like everybody was also like blonde, had straight hair, so I would literally come home, like I think I mentioned this in like several episodes before, but it would be like I would ask my mom and be like, oh, why don't I have blonde straight hair? And like she would try to like explain to me, but then I would be like, and then that would kind of like make me hate my hair because then I'm like, oh, like why is my hair like this? But then like I think with age and like as I've gotten like older and like literally like grown more into myself and like my confidence has like boosted, now I'm like, I like my hair and like I can appreciate it and take care of it properly. So
Yeah.
that's kind of been like that, I feel like.
Yeah, I kind of get you. For me, it's been very much also very up and down. I kind of have, I guess, like a looser curl pattern, as you would say. Like it's just kind of a mix, and like my hair isn't the same curl pattern all over my head as well. And that's also like really weird. Like towards the bottom, it's very much curly. Towards the top, it's a lot like looser. So then I always felt like my hair was just kind of flat towards the top, and then like kind of like flowed out. And I always like I feel like pictures of like when I was young, it's like terrible because my hair just doesn't look like great in my opinion. Like when I was very young, my mom was doing a lot of adventurous stuff with my hair and it looks really cute and stuff like that. And I think I had like a mini afro when I was a kid as well. It was the cutest.
Oh yeah.
And she did like these little pigtails where she combed them into like one huge like swirl, basically like one
Oh my gosh, yes.
So cute.
Literally, I loved it so much. And then when I got older and I had to take care of my own hair, that was more towards, I would say like middle school to around middle school. I would say like end of primary, middle school, and I didn't really know how to take care of it, if I'm very honest. And like in Hong Kong, you don't really have other black people, and definitely not with similar hair types as me. So then I couldn't really turn to anybody to talk to about it, and I don't know, I never thought of it deeper than like just it's like it is what it is, and like it's not straight. So like, you know, there's nothing I can do about it to make it look nice. I didn't think of it as like, oh, let me do the best for it to look nice. I was just like, I don't like my hair, or like it is there and it's literally just an annoyance and puffy, and like it's super humid and hot in Hong Kong as well. So I was like, it was always puffy and like not I don't think the puff is even the problem. It's just that like it's, you know, when your curls aren't defined and then you have like fluff everywhere, that's kind of what it looked like, and I hated it. So I would literally wet my hair every day, and like by the time it would get too puffy during the day, I would just put it up in a bun, and then that was it. That was like pretty much
that was my go-to as well.
So yeah, that was definitely difficult time during like middle school and even beginning of high school. I didn't really know how to take care of it. But then when I got towards the end of high school, I was like looking back at like videos that I took and stuff like that, and my hair actually looks really nice. Like I think I kind of discovered like a new thing that worked for me. And coming to Loughborough was actually like another change because it's a completely different weather, and I don't have the same humidity, so my hair gets so much drier. So it's just like it's like I had to learn a new routine. And recently, since I like cut my hair, I had literally my stylist, or like, you know, hair cutter, whatever you want to call it, hairdresser, she basically showed me how to take care of my hair, and she's like, yeah, like if you wet your hair too much and stuff, like you're just oxidizing your hair and the product like will just evaporate. She also said that like it's good to use a diffuser, which I literally never use one. So it definitely makes a difference, because when she used it, like it made a huge difference. And like even the whole aspect of like hair masks, which I know my mom used but I never used myself, and I didn't know how to use it, I didn't know which product to use first. And I think the only thing that kind of saved my hair at first was like Shea Moisture, and they didn't even sell that in Hong Kong. Like my mom had to get them in Europe to, you know, for Hong Kong. So like I didn't have any access as well to products that were useful to my hair. So like it kind of, it was a little bit complicated. I'm learning even now how to take care of my hair, and coming back again, I feel like my hair is even like drier. So like I definitely am learning. But I think I tried using my friend's like conditioner, and it did nothing for me. I literally came out of it and I felt like my hair was like so dry afterwards. I was like, I need my heavy coconut conditioner, you know?
Question. So obviously, since you guys are mixed, neither of your parents have your hair like pattern. So I guess it's like you're kind of on your own, because you can't ask your
Yeah.
dad or your mom, because neither of them have the same hair as you.
Well, I mean, my dad is like no chance. Like he wouldn't even give a shit. Not gonna lie. But
That's
like,
literally
I think, so yeah, I think my mom definitely tried because I think she was going through her own hair journey as well. Like in the same way where like in Napoli Ever After the movie,
Yeah.
like she literally went through the same thing where like
Really?
she had her hair like relaxed for
Yeah.
ages. At some point, she was sick of it, so she just cut it all off. Like
Yeah.
started from zero. And then even to this day, there are moments where her hair like just annoys the hell out of her. But she was learning on her own how to take care of her hair. And so because she was like taking so much care of her hair, I was like kind of inspired to take care of more of my hair as well. But at the same time, I was very much busy. So I felt like I took care of my hair out of like convenience, but not so much like to look great unless I had an event or unless I had the time in the morning to get ready and stuff like that. But even then, I look at my hair back then, it really was not that bad. Like I was doing pretty well. But I think you kind of just learn as you go.
Yeah.
So
my mom, like when I was young, she would have her hair like it was like her natural hair, and then she relaxed it, and then like now she has a weave. But she was constantly trying to get me to take care of my hair, which I had to do like so many activities and all this stuff. Like I say that I didn't have time, but I just really wasn't like, I wasn't even like trying, to be honest. And even though I was like getting like stressed about it after, I was like, why is my hair like not looking nice? It's just like all over the place. Like it actually looked like a bird's nest.
No, I agree. Like my hair so quickly gets so tangled. It's insane. Like I cannot just I see so many girls like they just go to bed and they're like, yeah, whatever. And then they wake up, they can just brush it out. Like I cannot do that. If I go to bed without doing anything, like literally in the morning, it's a disaster and I have to like go through it and comb it like with conditioner, with the water and all that stuff. But even like recently I've been losing quite a lot of hair because I don't know, it's been kind of brittle. Like every single time I do any sort of shampoo or even if I style my hair, I'm always losing hair. And basically my hairdresser was like, you probably have low iron. Which I literally tested for it last year and I did have low iron. So I was meant to take iron pills that I somehow lost at some point. But like I don't know, I think it's just kind of I'm going to try to see if I can get more, to be honest. I don't know if it's a prescription thing, but I'm definitely going to try to see if I can get them because she was like, yeah, if you don't take your hair now, like, it's fucked forever. So I was like, okay, that worried me a lot. So I'm going to be taking my iron pills now. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of my hair journey. But in terms of, like, stigma when it comes to curly hair, like, what stories do you guys have?
I think just the stigma of dreads being like not washing your hair, that's how you get dreads, or them being dirty, untidy, unprofessional, that kind of stigma I think comes with having dreads. Like obviously I keep mine tidy and neat and stuff, but it's like I do think to myself sometimes like I hope that even when I go for interviews and things like that for prospective jobs, they're not going to reject me just because they think that my hair's like untidy or like the stereotypes of it. So I think that's the only thing I have to contend with dreads, or people just like not even recognizing what they are.
I don't know if I've had, so to say, stigma when it comes to my hair. I think a lot of people permit themselves to touch it, which I find weird. One person asked me if I curled it, which I find to this day odd. I'm not even offended, I'm just concerned. Like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. When I had I don't know. The thing is that I sometimes, like on very rare occasions, I would straighten my hair. And I say rare occasions because I genuinely would be able to count on two hands the amount of times I've done it.
Yeah.
But I remember like going to school once and just being like, yeah, mom, like, can I straighten my hair and stuff? And so I did it. And then people in school, like some of them would give me compliments, be like, oh my God, you look better straight hair. And I'm like, that's not a compliment.
No.
Like, that's not the natural state of my hair, you know? So I guess there's still like that kind of stigma that like not even, I don't know if it's a stigma, but it's just like an assumption that straighter hair is nicer. There's definitely that. I mean, the thing is that when you look at like most TV and stuff like that, like you definitely like the representation of Black women is usually with straight hair, or at least with straighter hair. So even if it's like slightly curly, it's still like more on the straight side rather than the curly side. And I guess there's that. And then when I had braids as well, I don't know. I kind of got this weird vibe. Like some people were like, "Oh my god, I love it." Other people were like, "I don't know, I don't really like it." And then a lot of people just thought that I was like trying so hard to like either be black or something like that. And I was like, I am black, so it doesn't really matter. Like I was like, okay, like I don't know why you're offended, but I don't know.
No, I get what you mean completely. I think what I love about black women is the fact that we can have changing hairstyles. Like you can come into work one day or school or whatever with braids, and you can come in with weave. Like I think that is just the great thing
you
about
can
hair.
change your look, and generally like so much. Like I look so different with straight hair and so different with braids, and I like it so much because I feel like it gives me a different look, and it's like being playful with your hair and knowing that you can do different things with it. That's so fun.
It's the confidence, isn't it? Yeah. But I think the journey, like black women in hair, is just the most like troublesome relationship ever. Like you hate it and you love it. Like having your natural hair out can be.
I mean, there's a reason why there are so many black YouTubers who literally just focus on hair and techniques like that, because it's just so complicated and it's unique. Each hair pattern, is like so unique, and there's like different things that's gonna work for it, that's not gonna work for it. Like
exactly. Even trying to find like a black hair shop in places where ethnicity, like there's not a lot of diversity. Like I have my aunt who lives in the North England. She literally drives to London to get her hair done because she still hasn't found like a good black hair place in the North, which just kind of shows that it's just not. You have to go to certain areas just to get your hair done.
My mom would get her hair done in Paris once a year. The one time we came, she would go and do it, and I'm not even kidding. Like,
no, that's literally what I did as well. Like, like my mom, like every year when we would go to Toronto, like, we would know like a friend of like my grandma's like cousin or something like that, And I would literally go there like once a year to do like a proper hair treatment because that was the person we trusted. Because I can't find anybody in Sweden. Like it's impossible.
Exactly, and you don't want anyone just doing your hair because you can't go to just a regular hair salon with your hair like this. It needs special treatment, like special oils, special everything.
I agree. The one time though that I got a haircut in Hong Kong, he surprisingly knew how to take care of my hair, so that was nice.
Wow.
I mean, it was better than the one I got like last year. That was horrible. Literally, she cut my hair and I still have nightmares. Like she like brushed out my hair before she cut it, and this was in Martinique, like in the Caribbean, where like you expect them to know how to deal with curly hair.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I don't know. I saw her brush through it, and like it started to get puffy everywhere, and I was like, I don't know if she's like, I was like, is she sure about her technique?
Yeah.
And it literally took like that year for like the parts in the back that she cut that were short, they would like stick up sometimes, so it looked so odd, and it took literally the whole year for it to get back to a length where it wouldn't just like stick back up, so like still pissed about that. But apart from that, like I don't go to hairdressers ever. I think that was the 2 times I went to a hairdresser. I think one other time was just to like I think get like I forget the word. You know when they take the blowout?
I don't know any of these terms. I don't go to the hairdresser.
But I went for my birthday once, and then they did that, and I was like, okay. But yeah, I don't know. Like that's
Wait, can I see the list of stuff again?
Yeah, no worries. I was gonna take it out anyways. Okay, next one is about so preference in the black hair community, and I think like when it comes to preference, the biggest one is either for women to wear either like wigs or
weaves
and there's like a huge like preference for looser curl patterns rather than like so anything. I think the ones that are most popular are like 3A, 3B, 3C, and then anything like 4, like these are from like the chart thing that I recently discovered. It's considered like too kinky or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And that's the thing, like it's just I don't like how they're like selective of that as well, because a lot of like hair products, if you look at the woman on them, the one representing it, they usually have looser hair like curl patterns. I feel like that's not like, even within the black hair community there is like a preference for either straight or looser hair, and that's considered like more acceptable. The same way how I would never question whether my hair would prevent me from getting a job but then Becca would, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't question it because I know
Mhm.
that it wouldn't prevent
Yeah.
me from getting a job, because usually people are like, oh my god, it's so nice. Like, they're not
Yeah.
like, okay, that looks dirty or that looks, you know, off.
Yeah.
So I
Or
definitely,
nappy.
exactly, like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
And so I think there's definitely, that, like, preference for looser hair curl pattern, which I find to be a shame.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's definitely something that we have to work on, because I think there's still, like, just not enough information provided to people who do not have curly hair about curly hair.
Yeah.
So
And I
Oh,
feel like
definitely.
as young like black girls, you're not also taught to love your hair, because I
mm,
feel like when you talk about like
Mhm.
hair day, it's always just like your mum pulling on your hair and
yeah.
just like trying like with the
Yeah.
comb, like as you said, like
Mm.
breaking combs and all that kind of stuff. Like you're not taught
Yeah.
to embrace it and to love it. And when you see like young black girls, like you start putting in braids or relaxing your hair or doing whatever with it quite early on, I think.
yeah, just kind of like to
Yep.
get it out of the way, you know? It's
Yeah.
kind of like that
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah, like I remember my mum said that my grandma like just wouldn't touch my mum's hair because it was just like so much
Yeah.
like thicker and like harder to manage than my sister's, and like I laughed at the time, but now thinking about it, like my grandma refusing to touch her hair kind of like reinforces this idea of like your hair's hard to manage, you should
Yeah.
love it, you know,
Yeah,
like change it as soon as you can,
it's a
basically.
bit of a shame, I agree.
Yeah.
What are your
No,
thoughts, Scout?
literally, like when I was younger, like I actually used to straighten my hair like quite a lot, or anytime there was like some kind of school event, like we
Yeah.
had a lot of like school dances or like sports days or like all those like different events, or like I always like beg my mom like, oh, please straighten my hair, please straighten my hair. That's because like I feel like I was pretty heavily influenced, like because literally all my best friends have like long straight hair.
Yeah,
And
same.
they would always be like, yeah, and they would always be like, oh, like, and every time I went to school with straight hair, they would be like, wow, it looks so good, and they would like give
Yeah.
me totally different compliments than like if I did, like my hair like if I had like really nice curls one day, like I wouldn't get a compliment on that. So then I would kind of like look for that like acceptance and like all of that through like straightening my hair.
Yeah.
And even the same, like when I did a few months in the military last year, like in Sweden, like they were like super strict about the whole hair thing, and like that had to be like super like slicked back and like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, but literally like I can't help like my baby hair is like that's just not how my hair works, because all the other girls there had again super long straight hair, and they like they literally like check your outfit like every day, like from head to toe, to like see if there's anything like wrong, like before you start your day. And every day I would get a comment for like from one of the sergeants being like, your hair's sticking out, and like your hair's sticking out. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, there's nothing I can do about it unless you give me like literally like a super good like hairstylist and like sit me down for like hours to get it like super slick back. But like there's nothing I can do in the 7 minutes that you give me in the morning. So
Yeah.
No, but that's actually really interesting. Talking about like what your hair restricts you from doing, because what about like swimming as well? I feel like that's another issue of like
I had
black hair and
dance.
swimming.
Literally, like we had dance, and I had dance competitions, and she would want, for instance, a specific hairstyle where we had to put our hair back up like on a very high ponytail and it had to be straight. And I remember putting like a shit ton of hairspray, and still there would be like a curl popping out, and I would be like, oh my god. And like literally my dance teacher would like tell me in particular like, oh yeah, like, you know, you better like, you maybe should do this or should do that, because she wanted a specific look, and that look wasn't catered for me. Like I was the only black girl in that entire like dance show, you know. So like, you know, stuff like that, it's like it's not made with you, like these rules are not really made with you in mind. They're just made with the majority, which is I guess white people, at, you know, depending on where you live.
Yeah, no, literally. Because I remember we'd have swimming lessons at school, and like they'd have to tell us in advance, because obviously not all hair types or whatever like hair things you've got can go into water, and it was just like teachers being like, just get in the water, like come on, just go swimming. And it's like, actually no, because my hair's not going to react well to the chlorine, you know, all of that kind of stuff. It's not just as simple as let's go swimming. So I think your hair can actually, black hair kind of does restrict you from doing certain activities. Tragically,
I used to swim a lot, and I hated the effect it had on my hair. Not gonna lie, it made it so dry.
It doesn't get out of dreads,
and just so fucking dry. Like I just remember feeling like miserable after. I always had to wash my hair after I went to the pool because there was no chance I could keep it even a day because it was so dry that like it looked dead.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, not gonna work out for me. But yeah, I don't know. I think also the fact that like the black hair industry is like such a big industry, and I find it like genuinely it makes billions in the US,
So
like
much.
billions. And the fact that so many people try to capitalize off of it that are not black, I find it crazy because like the whole wig weave industry.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like now everybody's like trying to get part of it and stuff. And like I don't know, I just find it like slightly weird because black women are condemned so much and asked so much to change their hair, which is why this industry exists in the first place. It's just capitalizing off the insecurities of black women and their hair, which just I don't know. I don't feel right about it, but at the same time, it's like we do need products for our hair, but like I just don't like the way that the message is given to us. It's like, oh, please change it, or oh, you like I don't know. I feel like it's not. I don't know. Personally, I don't love that industry that much, but it kind of depends because I feel like there's very much a divide between natural hair, wearing a weave, wearing a wig, and like it's like we should probably just let black girls know that they can do whatever the fuck they want with their hair.
Oh my gosh, talking about that, I literally was on Twitter this morning and I saw this tweet and I had to retweet it. I was like, this is everything. It was like, one thing about me is that I'm gonna tell a little black girl that her hair is pretty, and I think that's like literally so important. Like if you just tell little black girls whatever hairstyle they have, even particularly specifically that their natural hair is beautiful, will go a long way.
And I think the more kinky their hair is, the more you should tell them because they're the ones who are the most insecure when it comes to
1,000%.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I know it's like there's like it really lacks, and especially like societies, like where like the majority of the people are white, and like you don't have anybody to like look up to. It's like my one of my like small cousins that live in Canada. She's like I've been like I made her little like curl calendar and like got her like the right products and being like, oh, like on these days you can use this and like that, because she was like interested. Like when I was doing my curls, she was like, oh, like how do you do that? Because we have the same hair type. And I was like, okay, good. Now you can learn from like an early age. And like, because she also had like some issues with that before, like a few years back, like she wanted her hair to be like long, blonde, and straight. But then like now she's like really learning to like love it and stuff, which I think is like that just makes me happy because like I wish like that was me. But then it's like if you can do that for somebody else, then that's just like perfect. I feel
like I feel like stuff like that is so good because you're generally like touching somebody's like heart and changing it for like the good, and I feel like that's great.
I think one movie that we said we should 100% recommend you watch is Nappily Ever After. I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix. Have you
I
seen
think it should be.
It's so good.
It's on Netflix. Yeah,
I hope it is.
Like it's a little cheesy and stuff, but genuinely it kind of describes really well how black women like have a relationship with their hair, and especially if they go from like go to natural when they weren't natural their entire lives. And I feel like a lot of women, especially from the older generation, are starting to do that because their mothers like very early on taught them how to relax their hair and stuff like that.
And the chemicals is so like the chemicals
it's terrible. They're literally killing. They're burning your. It's literally burning your hair.
Yeah. But honestly, 100% recommend that film. Everything that we've been talking about is in that movie. Like the whole, and it goes into depth, and you can see her hair changing and her personality change. It's a really great movie. I think it basically sums up everything that we've been saying on this podcast.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
I definitely think it gives perspective if you're not aware of how it works. And just to repeat it again, it's Nappily Ever After, so it's like happily but just with an N because nappy hair, that kind of shit. But
should we describe what nappy means?
Well, I guess
yeah.
Nappy is kind of like, it's like an open kind of definition in my opinion, but it kind of means that when you have hair that is considered like unkept, like that's usually, and the connotation is that it is curly, so you don't have nappy hair if you have straight hair, you know what I mean? It's like it's very much if you have, especially
afro.
if a very an afro or like a very like how do I say tight curl pattern usually as well. Like, so it's kind of used to describe someone who doesn't keep their hair well, or like
Yeah.
doesn't know how to take care of their hair. And
Yeah, literally, like I just googled nappy hair and searched for images, and it literally has black women with their afro hair out with, like, as Natalia
Yeah,
said,
that's
like
depressing.
tight curly. That is literally
Yeah.
what you get when you type in nappy
With
hair.
and it's like
Okay.
not even badly done. That's the
No,
thing.
like the people look great,
Yeah,
but that is what is called nappy hair.
and it does have usually a bad connotation. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's that's a bit sad. But
Is there any other words that they use? Nappy. What other words do they use to describe?
I'm trying to think.
I think that's like the main one. Yeah.
Frizzy? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I genuinely, it just kind of,
That is just kind of what they
Yeah.
got, nappy hair.
but I think, I mean, in terms of like school and stuff, I'm kind of shocked that in the US as well, there's quite a bit of like people get rejected from school because of their hair.
Yeah.
That still kind of shocks me. Like, I think I saw it on the news recently or something, and I was like, why?
I know.
Yeah.
Like, someone was sent home because of their hair. It's like, oh, because it's distracting to the people sitting behind. I was like, excuse me.
Oh, talk about like distractions. Like, this is like a little bit off topic, but when I went to this concert, I went to a Coldplay concert. I think it was like 2016 or something.
Oh.
And so we had been lined up and like queuing for hours. So we were at the very front, and we were like super happy. It was me and my two Swedish friends. And then like I was really like feeling myself that weekend. Like my hair was like super out, like it was super big. And I was like really like, oh, I really like it this way. Just like trying something new kind of. And then like, but even before the show started, like there were these 3 girls behind us, and like they just like tapped me on my shoulder, and they all handed me like hair ties. They were like, can you like put your hair up or like kind of like contain it a little bit because it's really distracting and we can't see anything.
Wow.
And I was just like,
No.
No.
what? And it actually like it made me feel like so bad. It kind of like, because first I was like, ew, like no, I shouldn't have to like put my hair up because of you. But then like I was like, oh, there's like nobody else here that looks like me, and like maybe it is distracting. And then it's like I shouldn't have to have those thoughts just because like 3 other girls like told me that it was distracting to them and they couldn't see. Like I literally should have just been like, okay, move. Like
but you don't have anyone else there that like I guess is going through the similar experience, and you're just gonna be like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, that is wrong. That is wrong on so many levels.
I'm just saying. Would they say that if she was white?
I'm like, just saying, just putting it out there.
Just saying, I don't know.
But yeah, I think on a final note, please watch Happily Ever After. It provides the context for everything that we've been talking about. I think we've pretty much touched on majority of things about black hair. I mean, this is just, again, our own experiences and our own takes on it. I think you could talk for hours and hours about black hair. Like it's a really big, it's a big issue. Not issue, topic.
Yeah.
Because it's not a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our own take on it.
Yeah.
Anyone else got any final words?
I think we've said pretty much, everything we had in our minds or that we wanted to address today. So I think that hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And, if you guys ever want to suggest more topics and stuff like that, or stuff that you'd be interested in, or if you want us to talk a little bit more about it, definitely leave that and go on our Instagrams. And we put up quite a lot of like polls and stuff like that, so you guys can like have input into our podcast. So hopefully that's helpful. Also, we're here to be happy because we just got to 150 downloads.
Oh,
so
yay!
So that's pretty nice. In terms of next week, we haven't fully decided yet, but you guys will find out also on Instagram, and that will be up next Monday. So thank you for listening, guys.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.